Welcome back to my Empires Season 2 recap. Week 22. What has happened this week? Let's find out. Sausage is willing to pay a little bit more for no zombification to happen before meeting Kralis, who wants to build something under his wood farm that will increase log profits for days. But he does warn him to not go near Hermitopia if he likes his height, so gives the glasses as a disguise. Next, we go to the shore where Sausage wants to build his own casita, so something is there to protect Hermes when he's on his unexpected interdimensional travellings. So while gathering resources for this, finds a deep dark where a swift sneak book could be found, so goes to investigate. So by spiritual help by Dolores, is able to get the book along with 2 discs and an enchanted golden apple. The sounds need to be heard, so puts his discs in the jukebox at a tavern. First is danceable, while the second not so much, as he doesn't want to be sent to a demon realm. But soon is it that he's transported to a familiar cell, being talked to by an evil, menacing voice who smelled him when he last teleported. No one could be here right on time. But for what? This voice had consumed Zornoff in this realm, becoming even more powerful than could ever imagine. Thanking Sausage for sending it here, now being able to consume more. Once the wizard's curse on them, will be able to transport back to the normal world where cataclysm can begin. But this evil plan is interrupted by Bubbles, the voice vanishing, which apparently was an evil version of himself. Walking through the portal, sees a skulk. Nope, not today, but let's store it for research purposes. Finally, to relieve his mind, builds a casita, which he couldn't be more happy about. Scott would realise that all of his lanterns are now their sole variety, and spreading the skulk. Corruption of a server was so last year. Being the man who set up the market, doesn't want it all being pointed back to him, so as Chromia was the only way in, makes them more in the towers of Stratos and Sanctuary, put blame on others. The people who would know about the market would be him, Fwip, Joel, Lizzie, Scar, Green and Cleo, who he told on stream. As long as Jimmy doesn't find out, it's all good. Plus, the laws only apply if you respect Jimmy, which nobody does. While adding a price to his fedoras, is caught in a stick up by Joey because of taking things and selling them to weird people, which is what he does. But anyway, specifically, he wants his trident back. But Scott's memory is foggy, so doesn't know where it is. But after getting some gunpowder, his memory is back and it went Animalia away, who only one person could be successful, Lizzie, who will be dealt with. Trouble would meet Tango from the mangrove forest, then later falls, who resembles a friend of hers, while after giving them some stuff to get them started and going to Sanctuary. In this encounter, she gave Tango a hat of hers, which he is still wearing when going to Fwips. He would also be interested in magic, at least someone is appreciative of it, so takes him to the Evermore to teach potion brewing. Did he turn into a toad? No, that was just a random one in his place. In overall, this would have been a good first lesson, but it would not be long before being interrupted by the pirate's apprentices, who she was warned that would kill her, wanting to team up as Joey as they killed their parrot Reginald, which she accepts to do. But as of this encounter, how does Joey know her secret? The letterbox, as it takes some time to send. Oh no. Having tried all she can with magic, wants Cobb with science to test out what is going on with the fog. He can look anywhere. Good luck not to get lost. But as he returns, he is different, more skulky. Apparently, it went spectacularly. Learning many powerful things are in there, suggesting that the Evermore is too bright, returning lanterns with a sole variety. He is appreciative of her for showing him the skull. May the darkness be upon you. Well, that wasn't as expected. Suppose she has to go in herself. In her adventure, finds a giant toad who is the guardian of the mangrove. Let's lead back to civilization for now, as he may have answers being here as long as the mangrove itself. All she needs to do is to find a way to get the frogs to speak. Joel would also notice the darkness and soul torches. Whose law is this? So replaces with normal ones again to assure villagers stay alive. In the same area, pushes back the wall for his temple in the city. This episode would be one where Hermes would get a surprise, which would be his very own temple that would be next to the temple of Jeremy. But while gathering resources for this, mistakes a bed for an ender chest in the nether, blowing up and losing all of his stuff. So annoyed, but goes on the grind to get all resources needed. Now having built the temple itself, there's another surprise waiting for little Hermes, which wouldn't be his temple rooms or his garden throne. That surprise would be his new outfit, inspired by some fan art some time ago, with Hermes in a purple waistcoat, blue blue polo and black trousers and shoes. Sausage needs to see it, so to ensure he will see it, puts him in the sanctuary bedroom, bringing Sausage to see how beautiful, so recreates the IRL photo in the game itself. Joey would be informed by Cleo about something being stolen, which would be found out to be his trident. Who is the culprit? Scott. He will pay. To help, she shows him the secret market. This would lead to him doing a stick-up, finding out Lizzie bought it. Goes to Animalia to deal with her. So, sets up a hostage situation with the council, Trident or their lives, for ransom. Wants a Trident and 10 bajillion amethyst, which, in human terms, equates to around 10 stacks. She'll oblige, him being able to take what he wants. She will rue the day she steals from a pirate again. Solidarity, having been tagged by his own deputy, has to go to the tag machine to see what he has to do to an unsuspecting Pearl nearby. Meeting Pearl in Herbatopia, he gets a tour around the place before stopping at her farm. Now is the time to strike. They aren't your wings, correct? Gone from Sausage? Going to need to inspect these real quick. Just kidding, you die now. As Pearl doesn't know what tag is, introduces her to the machine and gets Warden. Glad he didn't get that. This was easier than expected. Not being able to get Joel's help with Whip anymore, decides that after all of these pranks aimed towards him, he needs to get back at Joel once and for all. This would be done through a little switch in a build in Stratos, where if turned off, reveals stuff that wasn't there before, like glass in the gaps and the islands actually being on stilts, not floating, which would make his whole act a lie. Pretty cringe, not gonna lie. But what won't be easy to get back is his hat, because Scar traded his spare to Scott for Fedora, which should have been warned about. Plus, it'd be really just be on display. But redemption is to be made, having Scar completed the interiors of the trading hall builds, now being able to get melons, pumpkins, sugarcane for rockets, golden carrots, enchanted books, and diamond gear just from villager trade alone. Officially deserving the deputy badge, second in line. Toward this effort leads him to an untamed jellycat he had previously found, which Scar is glad about as it doesn't smell of goblin. Being gifted stacks of iron from Scar, later notices a face on the Hermitgeddon Tower. What is that? Sausage would have added an interior to the casita, including an aquarium, a library, practice dancing area, playroom, relaxation room, etc., which would fit with Hermes' new fit, who needs a special place of his own, being his boy, and that Joel built him a temple and all. Let's think. It'd be called Hermes Tower. Now, Ollie and him need to do some investigation with the rift, which, as last time, still dodgy. Yet now next to it, they see Grumbot on the Hermit Tower. What is that? Needs to be checked out. When going inside the tower, they see dozens and dozens of chests full of loot. It's as if they're trying to show them up or something. Inside, they spot Impulse. Apparently, the robot is friendly and who they will love. For now, Sausage wants it to stay asleep, as who knows what could happen when it wakes. Hearing of the market, Sausage wants to get involved. And what something Sanctuary could sell? Weapons. Finding Scott by the bridge is led to the entrance in Sanctuary. After finding out, Sausage likes to break the law. Buying his own sheriff badge, leaves to come back later. Don't mention to anyone. Returning, he buys Fedora and tests his luck and machine, getting some food. How lucky! The real reason he's here again is to build an armory where he'd sell his weapons in his tower. Finally, at last, he has the resources to build Hermes Tower, which has a new cat included. Hermes loves it. Meanwhile, this was going on. In an alternate reality, evil Sausage is speaking to himself on his tower, how he hasn't smelt sausage anymore. But besides, it would only be a matter of time before he returns, and when he does, that dog won't save him anymore. But when he came back, this weird dark thing has begun covering itself inside the tower. It's darkness still, so it's like, this doesn't deter that it's only a matter of time, Sausage. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Pix will be spawn-proofing another fortress with buttons, as he wants a bizarrely productive with a skeleton farm. To add would be a Wither Rose platform in the middle. How he was able to acquire these roses while farm? Easy, just some snow and a wither in the end and you're good to go. As all of these magic-like flowers, the farm works with high activity, but needs piglins on pedestals for that luring, so calls the help from X to get them. Collecting 6, they are all put into minecart to be put in their spots by rail, but it doesn't work as planned, so decides to do it manually instead. Having them all in place, if anything were to happen to them, he would cry. To know the efficiency of this farm, he got 3 stacks of wither skulls just by cleaning. While this had been happening, there was a visit from Ren bargaining his most valuable first items of the server in a boat chest, offering the most most valuable thing there for Dodo, which is obliged, getting picked his first ore. Moving to the museum, Skulk has been spreading everywhere. What happened, Joe? Cop had been putting down Skulk catalysts all around the capital, where Joe has only been able to find 90 with 140 still yet to be found. But what was it done? It is still unknown. Best guess is a protest. Hopefully, Joe's new security door could help even just a little bit. Knowing it was Cobb, Joe warns Pix that it will only get worse, as this is only the beginning. Joe would see the stilts Jimmy has put on his base, plus the glass. What is the point of this? How dare he? It is far, but at least the wallpaper looked good. The switch would be put back right where it came from in Tumbletown, where if turned on and looked at a map next to it, it would say, "You are a toy," which would have been written above the town itself. Yet, could this be a turn event? Haters to lovers? Maybe they just hate each other because they can't be together. How sweet. Removing the wall from last episode and gathering more resources, built his own cathedral for himself, the least egotistical man on the Empire's SMP. Jar would also have an encounter with Ren, selling giblets as well, but be warned, Pix wants them all in his museum. As of this, will keep his new wooden pickaxe for trade with Pix for a netherite axe. Yet, when showing real axe, Ren feels betrayed, writing it down, even if it was netherite. The audacity of these hermits. To finish off, built his cathedral's back garden, its wall and some terraforming, so it doesn't look as if it's floating. Thanks for watching my Empire Season 2 recap. Make sure to like and subscribe with the bell so you never miss a recap. Maybe even leave in a comment as well. Goodbye.